The darkness of the night had spread across the sky. A few streetlights were flickering, and the noise of the city was gradually fading. Ahmad, a young man, was working day and night to fulfill his mother's dreams. He lived in a small village with his widowed mother. His father had passed away when he was a child, and his mother raised him by working in other people's homes. Ahmad was used to hard work since childhood. When he grew up, he rented a rickshaw from a wealthy man in the village and started driving it in the city. Every day he endured the scorching sun, took passengers to their destinations, and paid the rickshaw rent at the end of the month. Life was tough, but he wanted to give comfort to his aging mother, whose bones had become weak and who could no longer work hard. That day, too, Ahmed was returning from the city to his village in the evening. He wanted to reach home quickly to check on his mother's health. So he decided to take a shortcut. But as soon as he reached the main road, the rickshaw started making strange noises and suddenly stopped with a jerk. "Oh, Allah, what trouble is this?" Ahmad muttered as he got out and began inspecting the rickshaw. He opened the bonnet and checked, but couldn't understand the problem. After trying for a while without success, he pushed the rickshaw to a nearby mechanic's shop. "Brother, can you check what the issue is?" Ahmad asked the shopkeeper. "It's closing time now. I'll look at it in the morning," the mechanic replied while scratching his head. Ahmad sighed deeply and nodded. "Okay, I'll come back tomorrow to pick it up." Leaving the rickshaw behind, he started walking toward his village. Usually he would take the city road, but that day, for the first time, he took a route through the old village alleys. The path was dark, a cool breeze was blowing, and silence surrounded him. As he walked, he reached a deserted alley, where there was only one small mud house. A light smoke was rising from inside. This sight was strange for Ahmed because he had never seen a house on this path before. As he moved forward, a strange yet incredibly pleasant aroma hit his nose in, like anything he had ever experienced. The scent enveloped his mind and senses, awakening his hunger. It was as if he was being pulled toward the house by some invisible magical force. There was a restlessness and curiosity inside him. The silence of the night had spread everywhere. Ahmad stood in that lonely alley, staring at the small mud house. Smoke-filled light coming from inside, and that enchanting fragrance overwhelmed his senses. His heart was pounding. He was torn. He knock on the door or turn back? "This place feels strange," he whispered to himself. But his feet remained rooted to the spot. The fragrance was so magical it felt like he was being bound by invisible chains. His hunger was intense, as if he hadn't eaten all day, although he had eaten before leaving the city. Finally, hesitantly, he went to the door and knocked gently. A few moments of silence passed. Then the door creaked open. Ahmad held his breath. A girl stood at the door, her face covered with a shawl. But her eyes, those deep green eyes, seemed to tell silent stories of a magical forest. Ahmad had never seen such eyes in his life. They held a strange charm that captivated him. For a few seconds, he stood motionless, as if time had stopped. "Yes, who are you?" A soft, mysterious voice brought Ahmad back to his senses. "I'm a traveler," he stammered, surprised at his own hesitation. "I was passing by, but this fragrance stopped me. Could I get something to eat?" The girl bowed her head slightly and said, "Why not? I cook food here and sell it. People come and buy it. Everyone likes the taste of my cooking." Ahmad looked around in surprise. The alley was deserted and no one else was in sight. "There's no one else around," he whispered, as if talking to himself. "Only those who lose their way come here," the girl replied softly. Ahmad looked at her in astonishment. She turned and said, "Come in. I'll prepare some food for you." Ahmad hesitated, but his hunger pushed him forward. He entered the house. Inside, the setting was simple, but had a strange peace about it. Oil lamps lit the mud walls, and the aroma seemed to whisper secrets into the air. The girl seated Ahmad in a small room where a clean old mat was spread on the floor. "Sit. "I'll bring food right away," she said, and disappeared inside. Ahmad's eyes followed her, but he couldn't see her face. There was a strange curiosity in his heart. If her eyes are this beautiful, what must her face look like? A little while later, the girl returned with a large plate of biryani. As soon as Ahmad saw it, he realized this wasn't ordinary biryani. The rice had a golden hue, and the aroma held an unusual sweetness and warmth, as if it carried the fragrance of another world. He was about to reach for it instinctively, then paused. "What happened?" the girl asked softly. "I've never smelled anything like this," Ahmad said. "This doesn't feel like ordinary biryani." The girl gave a slight smile. "Taste it. You'll like it." Ahmad took his first bite, and as soon as the flavor hit his tongue, he couldn't stop himself. This was the most delicious biryani in the world. Every morsel felt like magic can, unforgettable taste, a hidden delight that touched the soul.